Okay, so I'm making a loaded baked potato casserole. It is going to be amazing. So basically, I'm using a whole bag of yellow potatoes. They are so buttery and they taste so creamy. And I'm going to use a whole pack of bacon. This is a 12-ounce package. It's a thick cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel these potatoes, I'm going to cut them, and I'm going to boil them. And it's in salted water. And that's going to be about 20 minutes or so. When they start to boil, 20 minutes. And then the bacon, I'm heating them, I'm cooking the bacon in the oven on a rack at 425 degrees for maybe like 15 minutes or so. So the bacon's going to cook. I'm working on the potatoes and everything's just going to come together so quickly. So let's get started. Okay, so my bacon is on my tray with a wire rack. I'm cooking it at 425 degrees for about 15 minutes or so until it's done. It's a quick and easy cleanup with the bacon doing it this way. When it is done, I'm going to remove it, set it aside, and then it's going to be crumbled inside the mixture of my baked potato casserole. So I'm so excited for this. So the bacon's in there, and I'm working on the potatoes next. Okay, so all my potatoes are cut. The bag, I think, was about 5 pounds. So I cut them in small little chunks. I'm going to get a big pot of salted water on, and I'm going to actually put the potatoes in before it even boils. And then once it boils, it should be about 20 minutes or so. And then you just check to see if they're fork tender, and then they're going to be done. So that's the next step. Okay, so in a large pot, go ahead, get the water salted. Okay, and I'm putting 2 large garlic cloves in here to boil with the potatoes, because the garlic is going to add so much flavor, and when it cooks with the potato, it just mashes with the potato perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding my potatoes in here. I like to add the potatoes before the water boils. I mean, everyone does it differently. So I'm going to get all the potatoes in here, and then once it gets to a boil, again, it should be about 20 minutes or so. Okay, so that when the potatoes are in here, I'm going to go ahead and start working on my red pepper. I'm going to put a red pepper in this as well. So if you're doing a potato casserole, put all the fixings that you would like in your potato. So I'm going to have cheese, I'm going to have a bacon, I'm going to have some green onion, I'm going to have pepper. It's going to be amazing. It's a great side dish for a holiday, and it's a great side dish just for, you know, anytime. So the potatoes are going, and we'll just get to the next step. Okay, so I'm using a red pepper. You can use a red pepper, whatever pepper you like. I'm just going to use the red one. Usually I saute like my pepper and everything before I put it in the baked potato, but I'm not going to do that this time. I just want this to be like a really quick and easy baked potato. So the pepper will still have a bite. Also, it's cooking in the oven, so it'll soften up in there. So just going to cut it in little chopped. I'm just going to chop it in little pieces. So this is going to be so quick. I'm just trying to get everything done so I could just tell you what I'm putting in. We're also going to use butter. We're going to use some milk. We're going to use some sour cream and scallions, of course. So I'm just going to cut this pepper up and set it aside, and I'm going to take the butter out of the refrigerator so it gets to room temperature. So when everything's done, we'll just put it together. Okay, so I shredded my cheese. It's about a cup of cheddar and a cup of Gouda. You could put whatever cheese you want, but the Gouda melts really nicely and it has so much flavor, and so does the cheddar. So you could just use cheddar, or you can just mix up the cheeses. Swiss is also a really good melting cheese that I love to put in my dishes. So just make sure it's like 2 cups or more. So I'm going to put most of the cheese in the potato, and then I may sprinkle some on top. So this is going to be set aside, and we'll just wait till the potatoes are done. Then everything will come together. It's going to bake in the oven. So we'll get to those steps next. Okay, so my bacon's done. I'm going to set it aside. It's the thick cut bacon, so it just took a little longer for me to cook. But you can always cook it at 450 instead, 450 degrees instead. But yeah, my bacon's done. Setting that aside, and everything's going to come together. Okay, so my bacon's cooled off, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start chopping it. Just so you know, I did use a paper towel to absorb most of the oil, because you don't want that much oil in your potato. The bacon's good because I just ate 1 piece. But yeah, so I'm going to go and start chopping it. That's the next step. My potatoes are almost done. Okay, so my bacon is not completely crumbly because it's the thick cut bacon, so I'm just going to chop it like this. And I'm just going to have good sized pieces in there. You want to taste every single thing. Okay, so I'm just going to turn it and just cut it up in little pieces. Good bite-sized pieces. Everything's going to come together. Look how great that is. So you cut it into whatever size you want. So that's all my bacon, my cheese, everything's ready. I'm going to use scallions. So I have, this is about 4 scallions already cut up. And I know I always say this on my channel, but I always buy the scallions and I freeze them. And when I need them, I just take the little container out and I use it. And it's okay if they're still frozen. It works perfect. Okay, so I'm going to set all this aside and we're going to get the potatoes. So my potatoes are done. I drained them. I put 2 sticks of unsalted butter in the pot, and it started to melt, which is perfect. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some salt. Just a little bit of salt, and then you taste it after to see if it needs more. That was probably a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to go ahead and add some pepper. Probably a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper as well. And then my garlic's in here. You can't even see it because it just melted away. So I'm just going to start mashing my potato. And then you mash it and you add like the sour cream and the milk to the consistency that you want your potato. You can let it be a little rustic and have large chunks, or you can smooth it out however you like it, because I know that everyone likes their mashed potatoes a certain way. Okay, so mashing it up. Okay. And this is a big pot right here. I mean, like, this is really big. Okay, so now we're going to start incorporating everything. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my sour cream. Okay. It's about 3/4 cups of sour cream. Okay. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of milk. Okay, again, if you want it to be really creamy, just add more milk. The reason why I used 2 sticks of butter is because it was a whole bag of potatoes. So just get all this incorporated here. And then you can see if you need to add more sour cream, if you need to add more milk. So I'm just going to add what I added. I think that's more than enough. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and get another spoon out here so I can mix it all together like that. Look how good that is. I'm going to cook this at 375 degrees for about 35-40 minutes in the oven so the cheese can melt and all the flavors can get combined. Look at that. That looks so good. Okay. All right, now let's start adding stuff. My green onion. Okay, gonna add that in. I'm gonna add my pepper. You can always taste the potatoes, see if it needed more salt. And I think it does need a little more salt. So before I start adding the cheese and the bacon, I'm just gonna add some more salt right now. Okay, just get this all mixed up to get that salt all around. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add my bacon. And I'm going to add my cheese. I'm just going to leave a little bit of cheese to maybe throw on top. Okay. Let's get all that bacon in here. Okay, look how good this looks. Mix it up. Then go ahead and taste it again to see if it needs any more salt. Don't forget you have the bacon and the cheese that's going to add to it. All right, so now I'm going to get my baking dish, which I've greased, and then we're going to pour this right into the baking dish. And then in the oven it goes. Here's a close-up before I put it in the baking dish. Look how good that is. Okay, so here's my dish. Now I'm going to start scooping this inside the dish. It smells so good. So again, this is like a definite Thanksgiving side dish or just for every day. And you can just get little baking, the little metal baking trays, and then bring this to someone's house. Easy cleanup, and look how quick this was. You can make this the night before, and just put it in the refrigerator, just like this when this cools, and you bake it the next day. So good. A lot of potato. The baking dish, I don't know if I said, it's like a 9 by 13. So this is a great, great side dish. This is my loaded baked potato. Just push it down. Okay. Get all that bacon in there. All that cheese is going to melt. It's going to be wonderful. Okay. I'm going to take the extra cheese I had. I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. You can always add more cheese if you want. Okay. And of course I finish it off with my little sprinkle of paprika. Okay. There it is. So in the oven it goes, about 35, 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. And it's gonna be done. This is my loaded baked potato. I'll give you a close-up. How good that looks. All right, in the oven it goes. When it's done, I will show you. Okay, so my loaded baked potato casserole is done. It's sizzling away. And it smells amazing. And I thank you so much for watching what's on my plate. If you enjoy this and you try it, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up. I will plate this and I will show you. And this is such a great casserole. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna scoop some out. Look how creamy this is. Look how creamy that looks. And it's steaming. So I will try some. See. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be really hot. That is a loaded baked potato. It tastes amazing. And I thank you so much for watching what's on my plate. I mean, creamy. You could taste the bacon. You could taste the pepper. If you want, you can add some sour cream on top. A little bit more butter. Does not need it. The cheese melted so perfectly in here. Thanks again for watching what's on my plate. Enjoy.